What is good, my people? We're back with another sit down video, man. Today we're going to be talking about consistency. Now, in any facet of life, you have to be consistent. You have to put in the reps, you have to put in the sets, you have to continuously master your craft, whether that be sport related, business, any sort of thing. You have to put in the reps and the sets in order for you to get better at your whatever you're doing. So consistency, again, is easier said than done. It's very easy to say, I'll be consistent, I'll do what it takes, la 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 la. But then there becomes a moment in time in the journey where you start to feel fatigued, you start to feel lazy, maybe you're not as motivated as you once were, and then the consistency starts to fall off a little bit, or in certain areas the consistency starts to drop off. Now when that happens, discipline must become a thing. Discipline and consistency kind of mesh together. Without discipline, there's no way you're going to be consistent, because you're not always going to feel like you want to do said task, or said task might be uncomfortable or undesirable, and you have to have the discipline to do it in order to be consistent. I remember, and I'll give you a quick story time, one of my coaches, when I was playing football in high school, or secondary school, high school, whatever you want to call it, and I remember he was doing this talk with each player before a game on the bus when we was going to the game. And he's caught the players, sit down next to him, he would discuss with you, how you're doing so far throughout the season, la la la, what he wants to see more from you and whatever. So I remember when it was my turn, I went up there and he said, and no lie, this is brutal honesty, he said to me, Kieran, you're a very good player, but you lack consistency. One week you give me an 8 or a 9 out of 10, the next week it goes down to a 5. Now you never usually go below 5, but you just seem very basic and very average. And I'll tell you this, if there was someone coming to watch you, depending what Kieran shows up at the game is gonna vary your chances of either being scouted or taken on trial or whatever. And basically he was saying that you are inconsistent, so you are not gonna thrive, or you're not going to make it to where you want to be because of your inconsistency. Now whether that inconsistency is down to preparation, concentration, motivation, discipline, whatever it was down to, the fact of the matter was that I was inconsistent. And he actually gave me games where he said, remember when you done this in a game? And he's like, yep, yeah. And then he said, remember the next game after that, where it was like, so at that moment in time I did take it on board, but I didn't fully grasp what he was saying. I was still young, I was like maybe 14, 15, which again, maybe some people wouldn't consider that young, but I was still young. And yeah, basically that I think I was like the first person who had kind of told me, like, in what I was doing I was inconsistent. And it wasn't until I got older that I started to realize the value of consistency. Again, playing football, and I remember another one of my coaches, now this is years after, where I started to train by myself, put in the effort, put in the work, whatever, gym, all that other stuff. So I was taking football way more seriously. And he said, he was talking about something, and then one of the guys said, oh, but Kieran always plays well, or Kieran's always going to be there. And he said, oh, you never get injured, you're all right. I think he was asking everybody, how you're doing, and he's like, oh, Kieran, I know you're fine, you do whatever. So it was like a big contrast when you're doing the small things correctly over and over and over again. I'm not just making it about football, I'll make it about life in general. So let's say, for example, trying to change your physique, and you're doing the small things very, very well. So you're going to bed at a reasonable hour, you're eating clean, you're drinking your water, you're doing your exercise to the best of your ability, you're watching things that motivate you, that encourage you to be better, you're basically being disciplined. Once one of those areas start to falter and you become inconsistent in an area, it's going to affect the whole thing, whether you like it or not. And depending on how valuable that area is to what you're doing, is going to be a faster drop off in results. So this is a fitness channel, so we'll keep it in terms of fitness. Let's say, for example, your workouts become inconsistent. So usually you do like maybe 3-4 times a week, okay? And then you drop down to once a week, twice a week, once every 2 weeks. So the inconsistency or the frequency of you working out has now decreased. Now, it's not going to be an immediate change, but over time, if you maintain that inconsistent nature, people are going to start to say, well, what happened to my man? He's not looking how we used to. You lost the consistency. You must be consistent. And this is not to say where you have moments where, you know, you fall off a little bit and you take your pedal off the gas, but it can be for a very short period before it takes over the whole thing. So you must maintain your consistency in whatever you are doing. Now, it's easier said than done, like I said in the start of the video, but you must be disciplined. You must know your intended goal, your intended target. And again, setting out a specific plan, which again has to be flexible. You have to adapt to different things happening. You might get injured, you might get sick, there might be an emergency, you might have to change countries, anything. You have to be, you have to have a plan in place that says, this is where I want to end up. These are the small things that I'm going to do every single day to help me reach that target or that goal. It's as simple as that. Now, there's going to be a lot of distractions along the way. That's just natural. How you handle and control those distractions, again, will determine how fast or how slow you reach your goal. You know, you can be taken off your path very easily. And again, it may seem like a small thing at the moment in time, but small things add up to the end result. I believe they're called process goals. Again, when we was playing football, they spoke to us about process goals. So it's like making sure your passes are clean, make sure you're in the correct area, make sure you're checking your shoulders before you receive the ball. Making sure you're communicating with your other teammates. You're in a ready position. Those small things, individual small things, come together, well, in football terms, to get you the win, to get you to have a good game. Because if everyone on your team has a great game, chances are you're going to win. And the same with your individual life. If you have a great day, the chances are you're going to get better, you're only going to improve. But you must set up your day in such a way that allows you to be better. Trying to wing it, freestyle it, it's only going to work for so long. Can't wing it every day. You can't freestyle it every day, man. It's going to become chaotic. You've got to, and I'm not saying have every minute of the day planned out, but you've got to have set times of, okay, I'm going to wake up at this time, I'm going to eat at this time, exercise at this time, I'm going to rest on this day, I'm going to do my cardio on these days, because if I do cardio on those days, it's going to affect. You have to find that balance. You have to find what's going to work for you at the end of the day. But without consistency, man, you can kiss it goodbye, to be honest. Whatever you want to do, again, it's all about the reps, all about getting the reps in, all about getting your body used to this plan at the end of the day. And that's what it's really about. So you have to be honest with yourself, and you say to yourself, am I being consistent enough to get the result that I want? Because you can all lie to ourselves. We can all say, I'm doing this, and when people ask you, yeah, I'm in the gym and da 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 da, but are you really in the gym? Or are you like, just when you go there, are you giving it your all? Because that's another thing. You can work out every single day, but if your workouts ain't intense, are not pushing you, you're not trying different things, new exercises, taking it to the limit, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of effort. You might as well just not do it at the end of the day. But again, that depends on your goal. If you're just exercising to exercise, cool, by all means, do you. But if you really want to transform your health, transform your physique, your mindset, and you're really pushing it and you're going for it, not every day you're going to be up for it, Not every day. It's impossible for someone to be excited about something every single day. There are going to be some days where you didn't sleep well, you know, you're feeling a bit dehydrated, you might have had an argument the night before with somebody, you know, you wake up, you get a bad message and it throws your vibe off, or anything. It could be raining, some people will be affected by rain, but at the end of the day, you have to say, you know what, I'm going to be consistent. I said I'm going to do this, so I'm going to do it. No matter what, I'm going to give my best effort, even though I feel like absolute dog trash right now. I'm going to make it work, man. You understand? So, that's all I can say about consistency. Again, discipline, consistency, all those sort of things. It's all intertwined. At the end of the day, but yeah, this is a short video. Again, I'm trying not to edit these videos. I try to keep them as raw as possible, off the dome. I ain't got no script, I ain't got nothing I'm reading off of. I just go off the life experiences that I've endured, that I feel may be valuable to other people. I never lie when I tell these you know, these stories or these moments or these memories or whatever, but yeah, that's it, man. Consistency is what matters at the end of the day. So hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure you like, you comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.